Hello. I think today marks the first official week at my apartment. And I already knew, like, once I knew that I was moving, I knew that I wanted to film this video because when I was like 14, 13, you know, that age range, I used to be obsessed with these kind of videos, like, oh, how I moved out at 16, how I moved out at 15, like all that. Like, I just like constantly watch them. And it's kind of crazy that I'm making my own now, honestly. Like, staying here has been kind of a trip. I mean, the first night was honestly really terrifying because, like, I'm gonna show you some parts of the house are like really fucking creepy, but I don't know, it's just kind of like hasn't sunken in yet. I'm still like, it feels like I'm staying the night at someone else's house because I still haven't like made it my own and stuff. But yeah, so I figured, why not give a quick tour of what I've got now, and then I'll explain my situation a little bit and like kind of how I did it, I guess. Here's a little some quick little facts about me. I am 16 and I've been working since I was 12. Not like full-time, but I did under the counter kind of stuff when I was 12, and then since like 14 I've been working full-time, having like real jobs and such. So I'm gonna show you, like, here's my bed right now. My room is tiny as hell. I purposely chose a smaller room because I have a 3-bedroom and I wanted to be able to rent out the rooms for a bit more money. And plus I just really like small spaces. My last room was basically a closet and I have a walk-in, so I don't have to worry about my clothes everywhere. This is all stuff I found in the basement, and then on top of my radiator. There's like an old like a wood shop, and I found this, which was perfect. It's a really nice piece of wood, thick enough to where it won't burn by that, and you know, perfect length. Just some cinder blocks, you know, all that. Tried to make it even. It's very DIY, but this is what it is. And I got this on 75% off sale at Hobby Lobby. It ended up being like from $110 to like $27, $28, around that. Which is fucking great, even from the thrift store. Like, they're super expensive. Oh, and someone who lived here before me like made this light because there's not one on the ceiling, so they just made it. I'm still painting, I'm still, you know, doing stuff, and I don't have a whole lot for my house, so it's very messy right now. But trust me, I love clean things, so it's gonna be better. There's like this window that goes out back, which I think is really cool. The building itself is fucking awesome. So again, here's the original color of some of the walls. It doesn't look as bad in here, but it was like a ton of different shades of green and like yellow and stuff. It just was not the vibe. This is my roommate's room, but he's not like fully moved in yet, so I figured I could show it. But as you see, yeah, that one's like a normal standard size. This is more like a little den, or not den. Yeah, a little den or like an office area. This one's regular and it has a closet. There's this one that's even bigger. I think this is a really, really decent sized room, and, you know, closet, all that. And here's my bathroom. It's freaking pink. I'll do another tour when I have everything set in, but I'm just doing a quick walkthrough right now. Some more built-ins, more and more built-ins. I spray painted my radiators. And this is like the living room situation right now. I kept so this was the color of the original walls, and I kept it on 2 walls and on the arches. Yeah, and then we have my walk-in, which is super messy right now. Again, I've only been here a week, and I spent every day until like yesterday painting, so I'm not sure, like, I didn't really plan out what to say. Again, I've like been wanting to do this video for so long, but I just never really, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say, you know. I live in Minneapolis, a 3-bedroom. It's like 1,300 square feet. It's a really old building, so like there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done, but out of the 4 units, my sister lives upstairs, which is really funny. She like renovated her apartment and stuff, but out of the 4 units that are here, this one was the only one that didn't really need anything that needed to be fixed in order to function, you know. Everything's pretty much fine. There are some things wrong with the ceiling that need to get fixed, but that's like, I'm not worried about it right now. It's not like a pressing matter. So it was just really ugly, and I'm trying my best to, like, you know, make it home. I think I might go with the white mom vibes you know, the live, laugh, love, and travel kind of thing for my decorations in here, but I don't know yet. Anyways, yeah, so I've been working full-time since I was 14, and I know things like that aren't easy to do, like, not just like, you obviously have to have work ethic, but I don't think that's a problem for a lot of people who want to move, like, at a young age, you know, you start Googling things, start looking stuff up, you know, you definitely have the motivation. It's just a lot of people don't have the resources, which is a huge thing, especially if you don't live in the city. But if you don't live in the city, it could probably be easy to, like, find, like, farm work. I'm not saying, like, obviously there's suburbs that aren't in a city, not everything is just, like, countryside and city, but farm work is pretty easy to find work for. A lot of people always need help, or like labor things tend to not really care about your age, if that's the concern. This is gonna sound like kind of messed up, but if you're young and need to work, you know, obviously there's child labor laws, but sometimes you need to work anyways. Maybe you're helping your family, or maybe, you know, you got to get out of your situation. Places where they don't check socials and all that, just, you know, kind of a little bit sketch, like under the table type of thing, is definitely what you want to go for. I ended up finding like a grocery store that had a lot of like 14-year-old, not a lot, but like 2 14-year-olds working there because their parents were managers. So like there's a wiggle room there if you know someone that works there. So that's how I was able to get in, and I've been there for like a year and a half. And saving, I know, can be very hard for some people. I, for one, definitely have a spending problem, at least I think so. And I know that a lot of people in like certain situations, like their parents might take their money or all that and such. So like if that's, you know, your current situation, I like, obviously everything differs case by case, but I know a few things that you could do. I did a lot of research into this as a kid, so there's definitely a chance for everybody, but a lot of stuff relies on resources. So like, again, I know a lot of people have the work ethic, they have the drive, they have the like need to do it, to get out there and work and, you know, really push for this sort of thing, but it's more what's available to you. So I always have my DMs open. If anyone wants to explain the situation, you know, we could figure some things out. It also differs state to state, because if you're living in the United States, there's different laws for those sort of things everywhere. I'm being very vague, but I'm just trying to, you know, cover a lot of bases at once. And now to move on to me personally. So I've been saving for a long time, since I was like 9. And what I did was, like, for a start, before I had like a job, I did like arts and crafts and like stuff like that, like commissions, anything I could, lawn work, anything like that. And I loaned money to people I know and then got back interest, although that is sketch, because you know, you don't have any official, like, you're not a bank. If they don't pay you back, then there's nothing you can do. So that's some sketchy biz, but that's something I want to do. And then I got into tattoos recently. I'm not the best at them, but for like the level or like age range of people that I do them on, it's good enough. So that's really an easy way to make money that way. Or I feel like art's like really easy to commission off of or do if you're underage, or do like, you know, you could do things such as painting people's houses, you could do all that. But yeah, I just did stuff like that, and then I saved for a really long time, and just like 2 months ago I bought a car, which I don't know how I feel about now, because I only have my permit and I live in the city now. So this is before I even knew I was moving over here. I live in the city now, and so it's like, I don't really even need the car anymore, but I have it for when I need it. And it was like $4,200, plus you have to money for getting like, it was just a lot of money. So I've spent like 10 grand in the last month and a half, 2 months, because moving is a lot. They ended up charging me a double deposit because obviously you can't get a place in your name when you're 16, so I did it through my mom, and she didn't meet certain standards that they had, so I did a double deposit and first month's rent. So it ended up being $4,500, which is a lot. I was like, what am I gonna do? Just pull the money out of my ass? Like, I don't know, you know? But I do have 2 roommates, and they pay for their 2 rooms, but it's still like my apartment, my space, all that. So that ends up working out. That helped out like a third of the $4,500, but I didn't make them do a deposit or anything because again, it's my place. I don't want them to like, you know, it's not, you know, yeah, it costs a lot of money, and then there's a lot of things you need for your house. You need couches, you don't need a TV, but you know, you want a TV, you need food, groceries are like $200 for the first month because you have literally nothing. You have to get like salt and sugar and all that shit. Toilet paper, towels, soap, just like everything. Curtains, I haven't even gotten them yet, but they're gonna be like hundreds of dollars to cover all these windows, you know? So just like stuff like that. Definitely do secondhand. Maybe not so much for like furniture, like couches and stuff that has cushions, because that can be dangerous, you know, with like bed bugs and all that. I mean, I've just been conditioned to always be scared of bed bugs, so I don't know, but like tables and shit like that, like definitely secondhand it. Facebook Marketplace is my best friend. Depop, not so much because that shit is overpriced, but like it's just secondhand has been my best friend recently. And what I suggest for like groceries and stuff, get a grocery worker job. I have one for just like part-time 2 days a week, and then I have a main job, and that helps out with that 20% discount. It really does come through. And plus they do stuff where they like, if it doesn't meet the standards, if it doesn't meet like visual standards, they don't put it out anymore, so they just give it to employees. So that's free food that way. Just some tips and tricks there. I'll do a more structured video later on where I have like actually planned out my thoughts, but I just wanted to talk about it and like get it out there, I guess. For my bed, I've had it for a few years, so that's something I already had. And again, with my shelf desk, it's just stuff I found in the basement. You know, there were cinder blocks, there was some wood laying around, I stacked some books that I had. And I've thrifted all my stuffed animals, all that kind of stuff. Obviously washed them, but all that. And saving change, save your change. Especially if you're gonna be living in an apartment building, they tax the fuck out of laundry, and it's just like, pff, so save your change. It really does add up, you know, every like once a year or twice a year. Sometimes I forget, but I'll just find my change and I'll be like, oh shit, I got this, and then it's like $200, and it's like, that, great. Tax returns, if you're underage, are probably gonna be like 50% of the taxes you pay, so that's always something to look forward to, I guess. That's I got back like $1,000 last year. I'm still waiting on it to come in, but I got that back, so that's something to plan on. If you're thinking about this thing, you could be like, oh, I'll use my tax return money to get couches or to pay my deposit or stuff like that. It is kind of hard to find, like, if you want to do it in your name, but I know that there's a lot of things where people are just renting out rooms in their houses. So if you, again, Facebook Marketplace, my best friend, they like post stuff on that, and it's usually about like $500 a month, and you don't have to pay utilities, you just have to feed yourself and fill your room. So that's a great start if you like just need somewhere to live and need to get out of your situation. If you can make an income of like, I'd say $1,000 a month, you can live on that. It's a little hard, you can't spend a whole lot of money, and adult life is very expensive, but it's doable. You can find somewhere that's like $550 a month, spend like $150 on food if you're actually cooking for yourself, have some spending money, and then save a little bit, you know, budget. It's not the best, but it's nice to have a head start. Even though I am like pretty much doing everything like adulting, I guess, like, you know, I have my own car, I have a pretty nice full-time job, and I like have my own place. I am still saving up for when I'm actually 18, just because I feel like that's when like shit like starts. I mean, I don't know, this is kind of like a trial run in my head, you know, like testing the waters of how it's gonna be. But for some reason I feel like it's gonna be different once I'm actually 18, so I want to have, you know, some money saved up for that. And I don't know, I don't really, like, I have a ton of advice, but I just, like, my thoughts are so scrambled and everywhere. But I definitely just wanted to make this quick video, and then I'll make a more structured one about, like, I don't know, tips and tricks. This was just kind of me talking about it because I'm like really excited, and I don't want to wait anymore, you know. my next day off isn't like for a week, and I just gotta, you know. But yeah, I would show the basement, but I'm kind of lazy right now. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Okay, rent for a 3-bedroom in Minneapolis, it is 1,300 square footage, whatever. It was $1,650, $1,650. But I was able to, if you go through like, I call them slumlords, you know, people that are more like private and they're not just like a business. What's the, I don't know what the word I'm trying to look for is, but it's not like a group of people or like a business. Instead, it's like one person or like 3 people, and this is like their only building, or they only have like 2 buildings type of thing. I'd say definitely go through that. For that, you can find it on Craigslist or again, Facebook Marketplace. And so it was $1,650, but since it was a private owner, I was able to negotiate with them like, hey, I'll clean the building, I'll, you know, do the lawn work, I'll fix up the basement, I'll make sure everything's spick and span for a deal. And so it's $1,500 a month for me. I'm gonna negotiate more because they are kind of asking me to do a lot. And by me, I mean my mom, because she pretty much kind of came through in the last couple months and helped out a shit ton. And so like she's been cleaning, like I just clean up the hallways, and I'm gonna help out with the basement. But you know, my family's been doing the lawn work outside and all that. So if you know someone for that kind of thing, that's great. Plus my 2 roommates are gonna help out in the winter when it, you know, it snows and you have to shovel. So like offering that sort of thing helps out a shit ton. A lot of people need that, especially for like if it's a small building, or it's not a small building, but if it's only like 4 units or it's only like 6 units, they typically need someone like that because they don't want to hire somebody. So you could have like rent credit every month, and that is really dope. It's you know. Yeah, I don't know. Again, this is just me, like not ranting, but just like scrambling, I guess. My DMs are open if anyone needs like advice for this sort of thing. It's not easy, but I'd say 1,000% it's worth it. Like I feel like everything has led up to this, and like it's kind of like end the movie, roll credits. Like this is it, you know. So yeah. And with that, I'm gonna say bye and go to IKEA.